It's 2 a.m., and you've had 3 energy drinks, half a dozen snacks, and music turned on loud. Your brain is spinning, and you finally figured it out. The topic for your paper that's due in approximately 8 hours. Yes! Yay! No! Don't do this to yourself. Please, I'm begging you. This never works out well. And even if, by some miracle, you get a good grade, your body and brain will suffer from the mental anguish and turmoil you've just put yourself through. So how do you prevent this then? Because, tell the truth, if you haven't gone through this once, you're lying. I mean, even I've done this before. Most of the time, procrastination of writing begins with a topic. Topic choosing can feel so overwhelming, and your brain, not wanting to deal with that, can just shut down from the mere mention of essay. You've already got so much on your plate. Adding this is like adding funny-looking spinach to an already full dinner portion. I mean, would you even eat that? So how do we make this look more appealing, or at least get past this first challenge? Let's get started. You're sitting in your history class when your teacher suddenly announces he wants you to write a paper about the Roman Empire. Okay, manageable. But then he adds he doesn't want a summary or a timeline. He wants you to pick one specific thing the Romans did and explain how it still influences society today. Now, for Jimmy, this is awesome. He knows everything there is about the Roman Empire. For him, this is more about deciding which one to go with. But he's pretty sure he's going to talk about how the Romans influenced sports, from racing horses to running marathons. For Sally, well, she knows some things about the Roman Empire, but not enough to write a paper on it. I mean, they literally just opened up the section about the Roman Empire in their history class. She doesn't know what to choose. I mean, the Romans did do a lot. What should she write about? And then there's Bob. Bob doesn't know anything about the Roman Empire, except he thinks there was an old movie made on it before. He has no idea where to even begin, and already he feels the panic rising. So what do you do when you're Bob in this situation? Well, first things first, Bob needs to stop panicking and start exploring. He hops onto Google and types up something simple like, why is the Roman Empire so important? Or, how did the Roman Empire influence society today? Boom. Instantly, he's hit with ideas, articles, random facts, stuff he didn't even know he didn't know. And pretty quickly, something clicks. He notices that the Romans actually influenced a ton of modern languages. Now that's interesting. That's something he can work with. Just like that, Bob goes from, I have no idea what I'm doing, to, okay, I've got a topic. Now, what about Sally? Sally doesn't want to write about something everyone already knows about, but she's not really sure what else there is to write about. She knows the Roman Empire influenced architecture, the military, modern languages, but those don't really interest her. But she is really interested in clothes and fashion. Did the Romans influence the way we see clothes today? Yep, the Romans did. And so now Sally has her topic to write about. Now, did you notice how each of them landed on a topic? Because once you see the pattern, this actually gets a lot easier. Here's a simple roadmap. You start with the big topic your teacher gives you, in this case, the Roman Empire. Then you ask yourself one question. Do I already know something about this? If the answer is yes, great. Now narrow it down. What part of it actually interests you? Just like Jimmy, he already knew a lot, so all he had to do was pick the angle he liked most. But if the answer is no, don't panic. You just need a little bit of light research. And I mean light, not a 3-hour deep dive, just enough to get the lay of the land. Then as you're skimming, look for anything that makes you go, oh, that seems kind of interesting. From there, you've got two options. You can either pick something that directly interests you, like Bob did, or you can connect something you already like to your topic, like Sally. If it fits, perfect, you've got your topic. If it doesn't quite work, no problem. Just go with your next best idea, something you actually feel comfortable writing about. Maybe it's not your passion or strike you as super interesting, but if you think you can write about it confidently, then that's your next best option. And once you've got that topic, do one more quick check. Make sure there's enough information out there to support it. If there is, you're officially ready to start your paper. Simple, right? Or wait, there's one more problem we haven't talked about, isn't there? What if you don't like your topic? What if Bob, after doing some research, realizes he hates the Roman Empire? Specifically, he hates how much it influenced modern languages. And now he knows who to blame for making English so difficult. But there's a catch. His teacher loves the Roman Empire. which means the paper is supposed to be positive, or at least show the Roman Empire in a good light. So what should Bob do? Let's look at his options. Option 1, change the topic completely. Option 2, be brutally honest and risk annoying the teacher. Option 3, fake it, pretend he loves it. Or option 4, here's the trick. You don't have to love your topic, but you also don't have to completely trash it. You can do a little bit of both. Bob can say something like this. Modern English can thank the Roman Empire for the simplicity of the English alphabet and the complexity of its grammar system. See what's happening there? Simplicity of the alphabet sounds like praise. Complexity of its grammar system also sounds like praise. But we all know that's just Bob complaining. And that's what we're aiming for. You're not saying, I hate this. You're not saying, this is amazing. You're making an argument, backed by facts, with just enough personality underneath. And as long as you stay within the assignment, your teacher is going to be just fine with it. So why use this approach instead of just changing your topic? Well, there are a couple of reasons why. One such reason is that you might have already done a lot of research on it, so it might seem like a waste just to throw all that away for another topic. You sometimes have to, but if you lack time or just don't want to, the criticism with praise is a good option. You might also be forced to write about the topic you dislike. In that case, trying to force yourself to write about how you like the topic you actually dislike can make the paper sound obligational, and writing a paper you don't enjoy doesn't normally turn out well. Now, sure, some people enjoy arguing the opposite side, but for most people, if they aren't interested, they aren't going to enjoy writing about it, and then they aren't going to write well. And the person who will most definitely notice, your teacher. And that's exactly why choosing your topic, or at least how you frame your topic, is so important. Everyone needs some level of motivation to write, and sometimes a good grade isn't enough. Being at least a little interested in your topic, that makes the entire process much easier. And now you haven't just defeated the procrastination monster, you've conquered it. Which brings us to the topic we are going to be writing about for our argumentative paper. Now, most papers fall into 4 main categories: descriptive, analytical, persuasive, and critical. I would argue an argumentative paper falls into the persuasive category, but in order for this kind of paper to succeed, it also needs to be both analytical and have critical thinking in it as well. Because an argumentative paper isn't just stating an opinion, it's built around a clear, debatable thesis and backed up with evidence and facts that can be evaluated. The goal? Convince your audience that your position makes sense and is correct. And just to be clear, this is not the same as a research paper. A research paper is about explaining a topic and informing your audience. No arguing, just clarity, presenting the facts of your findings. And it's definitely not a personal essay either, which is where you're telling a story or reflecting on your own personal experiences. Argumentative writing is different. You need a stance. So your topic needs to be something you can actually argue. Out of everything you could choose, what do you pick? The answer I landed on? Pigeons. Yep, pigeons. You know, the slightly aggressive, always watching, somehow everywhere bird. I don't actually know that much about pigeons, and that's exactly why I chose them. Because most people kind of know pigeons, but probably not enough to immediately form a strong argument, which makes this the perfect example. It's a little weird, a little challenging, and honestly, a little risky. But that's the point. If we can turn this into a solid argumentative paper, you can do it with your topic too. So how do we turn pigeons into a debate-worthy argumentative topic? Stick around and you'll find out. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.